Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm here with my great friend and colleague, Anne Weiskopf. Am I pronouncing the last name correctly?
Yeah, doing great.
Thank God. Last thing you want to do is start off the interview and just botch a person's last name. So, as you know, this is a video talk, and so just thought we just open up and just have you introduce everyone to let people know like who you are and what you do.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me here.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, we've talked about it for a while, and now I've seen the inner sanctum, so I know what goes on here.
It's not as bad as it sounds, folks, but hey.
I meant it in a good way.
All right, we'll go with that then.
I certainly still do. So, hello. So, what I do.
Yep.
I work with women. Mm-hmm. And help them to create a life they want to live, replete with wow.
Which is why I'm glad you wore your shirt today.
Yes, I like the wow. The wow to me, it's an intangible, mm-hmm. But what the energy that it comes from is this idea that we can create what we want. And it's not as easy as that, of course. I mean, there are, time issues and family issues and monetary issues, et cetera, et cetera. But if we know where we want to go and know where we don't want to go back to, then we have the opportunity, and I think more than an opportunity, have the right to go and to figure out what it is that's going to light up each and every one of us.
Sounds like it's always interesting. I find that people have a challenge just to find where they need to be or where they are, and it's in some ways it's reassuring to know that it's not uncommon. In some ways it's common.
I would agree with you. And so for you, it's like you are very clear on what your passion is. And of course you can have more than one, right?
Right.
But this actually and metaphorically lights you up what you do.
Otherwise we'd be sitting in the dark.
We'd be sitting in the dark. I've sat in the dark before, but yes. And there is, a number of my clients were in corporate, and some of them loved corporate, and some of them loved it until management changed. And I personally had that same experience. I had a career in sales and marketing,
right.
In the media world, starting in the 1990s for a wonderful company called CMP Media.
Yep.
Now United Business Media, after a number of acquisitions.
Yeah.
And it was a wonderful company. The owners were lovely people and gave back, and it was just a wonderful time. And I was blessed to be able to be at that organization until they wound up selling it a number of years ago. And after that, I had one experience in particular that was the opposite of what I experienced for so many years.
Right.
And it really showed me that there is a side, or can be a side, to companies that are just unethical and bordering on worse.
Right.
And I didn't want to be stuck there.
Right.
And I decided to take a different path.
Right. And would you say that there is a series of events or steps that made you make the bold jump to make, if you pardon me to use the term, make that shift to where you're going now? I
love when you say shift. So we had a significant tragedy in the summer of 2013. We lost our eldest boy, Jacob, and he was and is the wow.
Yeah.
Brilliant, wonderful, smart, creative, and the world was just too much for him.
Right.
And so, and that changed everything. Yeah. So I did go back to work in corporate, and And at some point in time, I said, you know what, I'm here to do something different, and I'm
Right.
here to do something that matters.
Right.
And I went to CTI, which is Coactive Coaching International. It's the largest coaching program in the world in person, an in-person one. And I did their core courses, and I did a leadership program with them, and I did certification. And I'm a big believer in the model.
Yeah.
And there's 4 cornerstones, but I'll share just one.
Yeah.
And that is that that all people are naturally creative, resourceful, and whole. NCRW, is the acronym.
Right.
And what that means is that you don't need me or anyone else to solve your problems or to tell you what you should be doing. You have everything inside you that you need to know what it is that you want to do. And occasionally, do we need help and guidance and encouragement? Of course. But I don't, one of the things that I was paid well for in corporate is problem solving.
Right.
And I'm a good problem solver. And to be honest, I miss it a bit. But
Right.
having said that, if I offer a solution to your problem,
Right.
right, that's what I believe it is, not necessarily you, right?
Right.
And you don't need me to do that. You can do it on your own. So yeah, so it's a big learning lesson for me overall, and just shifted the way I think about people and organizations. And I also have a much more of a believer in the universe and the angels that are around us,
Right.
to guide us.
I can't help but use the term shift just because I think it's so relevant as what you speak. But it's got to be difficult, the shift from the mindset from being like a problem solver to one, where you are. I know this may be a weird way to phrase it, but what are the things that you find helpful to make that transition? I mean, I know every person's journey is different in how they arrive at where they need to be.
Yeah.
But for you, what help you guide you to where you wanted to be?
So that's a great question. So when I started doing the coaching courses, I knew I wanted to coach, and I assumed that it would be in life coaching and in business coaching. One of the things that was important to me, or not even that it's important to me, it's just like part of my blood,
Yeah.
is that I wanted to name what would be the business.
Yeah.
And I had tried all these different names that were cool, but the URLs were all taken. And then one morning I woke up and I said, "Make Your Now Wow." And
Right.
I went to the to GoDaddy, and it was available, and I almost fell off my chair because I was like, "That's such a great name. I can't believe that someone hasn't already taken it."
Right.
So I named the business Make Your Now Wow, and not too long after that, it was probably a couple of months, the Beck song "Wow," which the refrain is "Make Your Now Wow,"
Yeah.
came out. And to set the record straight with you and to everyone,
Right.
my business was named before the song came out.
Right.
And one of the things about the song itself, because the night before the song came out, I had this dream, and it was pretty fantastic. And when I woke up the next morning, I
Yeah.
said to my husband Doug and my son Jared, who is 2 years younger than Jacob.
Yep.
He's 20 now.
Okay.
And I said, I know how we're going to honor Jacob. We're going to have an International Wow Day, and we're going to encourage people to do outrageous acts of kindness and then to post it on social media. And then I paused and I said, it's going to be an International Wow Day. When I woke up that morning, I saw these Rolling Stone lips on Facebook, and with it was saying that Beck was coming out with the song. I forget what time it was. I think it was noon or 1. And at the appointed time, I sat down and I just started listening to the song, and the name of the song was Make Her Now Wow.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is about you only have one life, you got to try to get it right, this whole thing. And then when I'm already literally almost falling off my chair, there the glow, this picture of the earth comes up, and it says, we're going to take it around the world, and the word wow is going around the planet.
Okay.
And that was the morning when I woke up and said, we're going to have an International Wow Day.
Pretty neat just to see how everything just kind of all clicked together.
Well, yes. I mean, I oftentimes for things that are not logical for me, I really need to be kind of hit in the head. And that was I was okay, Jacob, I get it.
I can relate.
I
can compare the bruises with you later. So.
You know what I mean? I'm okay. So that's what that's how the practice was started, and what I also came to realize is that that my passion is really with working with women. I love men.
Right.
Do not misunderstand.
Gotcha.
But my belief is that women, that we tend to be very hard on ourselves. We tend to put ourselves last, particularly if we are working and have young children or even older children, aging parents, and that we do so much for so many that oftentimes we don't think about, am I fulfilled?
Yeah.
Am I doing what I want to do? And that, that is what I am here to shift or change if I can.
Right.
My ideal client is a woman who at one point or many points in their life felt their power, and for circumstances as I just described is not feeling the power, the love, the excitement. They're not feeling the wow.
Yeah.
And so it is my honor and privilege to work with those women so they can design the life they want to live.
Right.
And I am there to encourage, support. There is definitely some snarkiness. I do want to be clear on that.
Good to know.
Can't be all sunshine, baby.
Right. Otherwise, where would the weathermen be if they had no rain and snow?
I know, it's true. It's a good point, yeah. and so yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. The way that I describe the type of coaching I do, and the outcome of it,
right.
and it's leadership development, but I'm using leadership not with a big L. So for me, until recently, when I would hear leadership, right? I was a leader in my company. Mm-hmm. I was in a leadership tribe. So to me, a leader is big L. I'm in front of the room or something similar to that. The leadership that I have come to believe is the most important place to get aligned with in order, if you want to be a leader with a big L, is like the leader within. Sort of self-authority. Mm-hmm. Like saying a resonant yes to something that you're interested in doing. And if you're not interested in doing it, saying no. Thank you. And I know that that is an example that's, not this large example, but it's about saying yes to ourselves, mm-hmm. and putting ourselves first, maybe not all the time, but to listen to our leader within about what we want to be with, what we want more of, what we don't want to be with, and what we want less of. And that, you can't, because if you want to be the big L, until you get aligned
Right.
here, like literally in the gut, you're likely not able to do that. And that's what I mean by, designing and living the life.
So would be example is not the big L, but in being able to examine oneself to determine like what's to say yes to what's no. It's like providing that example would be the idea that you mentioned about not being a problem solver, but just showing them the light as to like how it is that they can. I don't want to use the word improve themselves, but just help them.
Well, improvement is not a yes, because
Yeah.
I believe that the majority of us, are always looking to iterate in a way. Because as soon as you stop doing that, like, you're done, right? It's over. Boom, we're done. So I think that again, it's because women tend to say yes to things that they want to say no to, right? Mm-hmm. And we're I don't want to say we're programmed to that, but we do become programmed to that. And so one of the big shifts, if you will, in creating that life is being very clear on what your yeses are and what your nos are.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the leader within.
Yeah. So that way, if the environment, whether it's favorable or unfavorable, that they have the tools to know like how they want to respond and in accordance to, stay within themselves. So.
Yes, that's perfect. That's exactly right.
Okay. Cool.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not saying, it's not like as easy as that.
Yeah.
But once you start saying no, like I have one client in particular who hasn't said many no's for, I don't know, like 30 years or more, and started saying no, and it just, to quit her job, I mean, it just changed everything.
Yeah.
Just changed everything. And I'm not saying that this doesn't happen with men as well, because it does. It's just much more prevalent with women, and there's a lot of historical, bases and not just historical bases. I mean, we are able to create life, and so there's a lot of reasons for it.
Right.